what is next? Pacific Northwest Kaiser. And we'll give you guys another deck profile using the OG Beerus leader. If you guys didn't know what he does, when he attacks, he can, if you have 3 or more energy, you can KO any 2 or less battle card in your opponent's side of the field or opponent's side of the battle area. That's really good. And then he, his Awaken is also a draw too because he's an OG leader. And he is Beerus, God of Destruction. His auto is when this card attacks, draw 1 card, and you can pop any 3 or less battle card on your opponent's side of the field or battle area. And then his activate main skill, you pay 16 energy. Yes, I did say 16 energy. Switch this card to arrest mode, and then you win the game. It's one of the first cards that actually with a different win condition, other than like Janimba, other than Victory Strike, and things like that. It was one of the first, and a lot of people, like, you were getting up to that high 8 to 10 energy range, so 16 energy didn't seem too out of reach. But we're going to try to get to that. That's really great. I most of the time I don't get to 16 energy unless it's a really grindy game and they're kind of stalling me out and things like that. Then we could kind of push towards that, but I do hit 12 energy just to play our boss of all bosses cards, and we can get that to just a second. We're going to be playing the Gogeta build, as you can see here, because Gogeta is just a really good blue card for any not kind of stally decks, kind of decks that want to take turns one, and if we get to a long turn, and if we can't get to those turns, those high turns, then we want to speed up to it to where our opponent can't catch up to us because we just want to wrap up. So get right into the pseudo combos, just kind of save us out, just so we can kind of combo. Don't have to waste too many of our super combos. We have Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku, which is really good because when you combo this card, you get to draw 1. So it gives you 10k and you get to draw a card. It's just like a super combo, but you do have to pay 1 energy. Whis Destruction's A brought this deck back to life because when you play this card, you get to draw 1 card, then you have to activate main skill 2 for 2 blue energy. If your leader card is a Beerus card, you can play this card in your energy area in rest mode so that we can get our leader's skill, our leader's auto ability started turn 2 if we wanted to. So that's really good. Then for our Gogeta combination, we have Super Saiyan Son Goku Skillless, just 20k, 2 costs. We're just using this just because of his attack power. Then we're running 1 and Yielding Spirit Trunks. This is really good for any blue leader deck because when you play this card, when you combo this card, excuse me, you get to untap 1 energy and get that 5k boost. But it's only when it's during your turn, so remember that. It was at 4, but now it's down to 3. Do we have Deadly Defender Vegeta? This card is really good for protection, just in case we need it. We can run it for these guys because we do want to play some, but we want to keep some in our hand as well. He has Barrier. He's 20k, so you can put some pressure on your opponent. And if this card is in his permanent, if this card is in rest mode, your opponent cannot attack your leader card, but he does lose 5,000 attack power. So do remember that on your opponent's turn. So then we're playing 3 SS3 Son Goku pushing forward. This card is really good too. At the end of your battle, you burst 5 cards and you can bounce back 1 of your opponent's battle cards into the bottom of their deck and return this card back to your hand. So if this is our only card, like only Son Goku in our hand that we're trying to fuse to for our Gogeta, he'll revive our Ultimate Fusion Vegeta. We can play, or excuse me, Gogeta. Then we can play this card for 3 energy, attack with it, and then bounce or uses auto at the end of the turn. Bounce this card back to our hand, and then put 1 of your opponents, like say like a really good card that doesn't have barrier that we just kind of didn't want to keep putting pressure on us, back to the bottom of our deck, so that way we can have another turn to breathe and just kind of stack up our energy, because that's what we want to do, is like stop our opponent and just kind of stack up on energy. And then for more Gogeta pieces, we got Out of All Costs Vegeta. This card is really good in any blue deck or any deck that's really focusing on Gogeta, because its auto is when this card is played. We do want to kind of play this card when we can. You got to draw 1 card, untap 1 energy. Then you have to activate main skill once per turn. You get to choose 2 cards in your life, add them to your hand. So if we need to awaken, this is what we can do. This is our only way to awaken, self-awaken. You can gain 3,000 attack power for each energy you have, which we're going to have a lot of energy. And then if you have 5 or more energy, which we almost certain do when we drop this guy, you have to KO 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and then you also gain triple strike. So it's a triple strike, and then most likely on our turn, he's going to have like 35k at least energy or attack power. So 35k triple strike. So just remember that. And then for our first Gogeta card, we're running 2 of the Ultimate Fusion Gogeta. This card is really good because when you play this card, you get to draw 2 cards and place 2 of your opponent's battle cards. No energy restriction, just as long as they don't have barrier. And then you place them at the bottom of their deck, and it only costs 4 energy to play this guy when you fuse with when you place At All Costs Vegeta or Son Gogeta or excuse me, Sun Gogeta, Sun Goku, and a Vegeta card to your drop area when you got them. As long as they have equal attack power, that's why we're playing all 20Ks here, then it's okay to do that. So he's really good because he also has double strike, so we put a little pressure on our opponent. Then for the boss card, we have Gogeta Hero Revive. This card is really good because he not only has barrier, not only has deflect, not only has triple strike, but you can play him on 5 energy when you have the Son Goku and the Vegeta combo pieces, and then he has his beastly auto Sparking 10. Crit yourself 1 life, so place 1 life to the drop area. Your opponent shuffles all their cards in their hand back to their deck and then draws 3 cards. That is so good because then you put in 30,000 pressure onto your opponent. If they don't have a negate, if they have 3 life or less, that's pretty much game because then you just combo out as much as you can and try to go for it. Then for our bosses of all boss cards, we have Whis Judge of Gods. Judge of the Gods. This card is really good because it has Quadruple Strike. Yeah, that's Quadruple Strike, 40k base power. And when you play this card, you get another turn. This card's a skill, cannot be negated. This card's attack cannot be negated. Once you play this guy, you attack with him. They can't negate it. They can't do anything. They combo out. You say go. You draw again, charge again. You're up to 13 energy now, and you swing one more time with the Whis Judge of Gods. They cannot withstand 40k twice. There's no way. And if they're awakened, that means they're most likely at 4 life or less, unless they're the Android 17, Android 18, or Kid Goku, where they can awaken at 6 life or something like that. Then we're playing 2 Shenron Figure of Majesty. The reason why we're playing this guy, just because he's really good for those stall decks. He's only cost 4 energy, 4 any energy, and he has a Sparking 5 ability. You draw 1 card, and then, so every time you use a skill, you draw 1 card. That's really good because we want to keep our hand advantage. You can choose one of his skill. You can either give any battle card or leader 5k 1000 attack power in critical. You can choose 2 or less battle card from your drop area and play it, or you can untap 2 energy, and that's really good for us because untapping 2 energy lets us play another objection, lets us get our Whis of Destruction's Aid, play its ability, and it also lets us get Whis Destruction Aid from the drop area as well, and our Super Saiyan Son Goku's from the drop area as well. Things like that, just so if, like, say if they KO it with like Shock and Death Ball and things like that, we can actually replenish it, bring it back, draw 1, and untap 2 energy to kind of get it going again. Then we're playing 2 Mirror Creator Absorb. The reason why I'm playing this guy, because most of the time when I do use Gogeta, it's like ability, skill, they won't let me get down to 3 life. So what I do is swing with Gogeta. They usually take the 3 life. Hopefully they don't get a counter or things like that. Or I play Mirror Creator Absorb after I played them, and then attack with Mirror Creator Absorb for about 100,000 attack power, which they know for sure they can't combo out, and then attack with Gogeta Hero Revive, and that way put a lot of pressure. Because Mirror Creator Absorb is really good. We're not going to float. He has the flex, so you can't cold blow, let's say, or crush ball or anything like that. We're not going to worry about its first auto because it corresponds with like Union Absorb and things like that. But he only costs of Overwhelm Overwhelm of 4 with 1 energy. He only costs 4 cards in your drop and 1 energy, and you attack him with 30,000 attack power. Then when he attacks, he gains 5,000 attack power for every card in your warp. So he really gets up there. Then for our super commons, running that elegant Heelys, just because it's really good. I wish it draw 2 first and then send a card to the drop. However, for this one, you have to send a card to the drop first and then draw 2. So it's not like the Paragus Defend the Father one, unfortunately. But it's a really good super combo. It doesn't give you 10k off jump like Paragus. Paragus is definitely way better, but since our leader is a god, we can use this one, and I think that's more beneficial. Then we're running 2 Xeno buttons because we tap out a lot. We just want to make sure we have protection. All our cards are basically 1k, or a lot of cards are basically 1k, so once we Xeno button, we can be able to protect ourselves if we need to. Because Xeno button is a counter attack, you basically switch all your blue energies to active mode, so that's really good. They're running 4 Dimension Magics just because it's our counter card. Obviously, it has a Sparking 5 ability, which is really good because you can take a life to kind of activate it when you have 5 in a drop. Then you negate the attack and untap 2 blue energy if your leader card is blue. 4 Senzu Beans because obviously any blue deck needs Senzu Bean, just so you can extend our plays. But mostly this is just for defense. We don't usually ever want to extend our plays unless we're trying to go for like a Gogeta Hero Revive next turn and things like that. We're running 4 objections. That's 4 objections because we really want to wrap up as fast as we humanly possibly can to win with that skill to activate main 16 energy. That is going to be really good, and I think that's that win con scares some of our opponents, because if we only use like 2 or 3 objections, like they'll get scared just because they're like, oh man, how many objections do they have left? How many weak destruction aids do they have left? You know, things like that. So that's pretty much the whole deck. There's a lot of cards I changed out of it. Obviously, at first I wasn't playing the Gogeta build, but Gogeta build just kind of shuts my opponent down, gives me some time to think. Most of the time, I'm only going up to like 10 energy. 12 energy is kind of a push with this build. But the other build that I was working with that focuses more on the God support cards and things like that, I would get up to like 13 energy if my opponent wasn't playing mid-range aggro. If they were playing mid-range aggro, it'd be really a struggle to get past like 6 energy, because my opponent would just put a lot of pressure. This one works a lot better. It's more mid-range. I hardly get out the Whis Judge of Gods, unfortunately. That kind of sucks, but like I said, that's for a late game. That's for really, really late game. Most of the time, I get to the Gogeta by turn 5 or turn 4, just like anticipated, and then I can just kind of put a lot of pressure on my opponent at that point. I can drop 2 Gogetas if I really wanted to. Anyways, that's my deck profile for the Beerus. I really like it. It's really fun. Definitely check it out. If you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and comment down below. If you guys like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys are new, go ahead and subscribe. I'm definitely going to be trying to pump out a lot more of these old OG leaders because of the anniversary block. I did revive a lot of them. I'm going to try to get as much as I can out. Anyways, I do just to speak real fast on it. I know Gogeta Hero Revive has had a lot of talk lately saying it needs to get banned and things like that. Is it a broken card? I won't necessarily say it's broken, but it is definitely good. It's really good. Obviously, Mafuba stops it if you get Mafuba. Like if you get a counter, it stops it as well. If you get a counter, things like that. If you have open energy and you have super combos in your hand, it's really easy to stop Gogeta in that sense. But most of the time, people when they shuffle, it's kind of like shuffling for Zeno. But would you rather have Zeno or Gogeta? And a lot of people, I think, choose Zeno. But the thing is, if you have a Deadly Defender on the field, and you Gogeta, guess what? They still have to get past that Deadly Defender. Like it doesn't shuffle your battle area. But if you have Zeno and you have a Deadly Defender, it shuffles everything back. It resets everything. And if you had a good hand, guess what? Now you only have like 5 cards in your hand, and you think that's better than 3. But to be honest, like I would rather take 3 than my whole board and clear off 2. The board I just already established. Then I get it because a 30k triple striker, so that's a lot more pressure than a 15k single striker. But it really depends on when it's been played, because if you only have 2 life or less, and they play that Zeno, they could definitely double strike you for game. If they have it, they can overwhelm you. They can do a lot more damage. So, anyways, is Gogeta Hero Revive a really strong card? Yes, indeed. It's really, really, really strong. It has Barrier as Deflect. It has so much potential. I mean, it's an all-star card. I really like it. When I get Gogeta, I'm always, I'm a little salty about it as well. But when I get Gogeta out, I mean, I respect the combo. It's dang sure no Victory Strike, and it's in that sense, because Victory Strike is kind of cheap in its way, just because there's so many things like that supports it. But anyways, just don't want to keep rambling on. Like I said, I will try to update so many decks out here, try to revamp them and things like that. So, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.